I've got another little gadget. Thrunite have sent me the Archer Mini little torch. So I thought I'd just give you a bit of a quick what is it, what do you get, and what does it do. This is Thrunite. I've had a couple of torches for them. If you want to have a look at them, I'll put the link up for you. So what do you get in the box? You get in the box a torch, a small torch, and we'll come to that in a moment. You get a USB-C lead. You get a lovely bit of silica gel, which I've just thrown on the floor. Silica gel is great. These little pouches, if you throw them in your camera bag or in your pocket, it keeps a little bit of moisture down. And you also get some instructions, and the instructions basically tell you how to use it, how to operate it, and how to charge it. So I'm not going to really read them. I've got it all up on the screen in front of me. So, tiny little torch, 83mm tall. That's 2.27 inches. It's got a USB-C charger on the inside, so basically you untwist the lens at the front, and inside there you've got a baby little USB-C charger, and that's how it charges. I think that's a brilliant idea. It's hidden then, there's no charging ports or holes or anything sticking out on the outside. You also get this double clip, so you've got a clip which is really big on one side, which is great for clipping onto jackets and gear like that. You can clip them onto your belt. Oh, I've turned it on. Clip it onto your belt, clip it onto your camera bag, onto your rucksack, and stuff like that. Really, really good. And you've also got a small clip on the front. Now, a lot of people know me for wearing a baseball cap, and what you can do with a baseball cap is you can pretty much slide that on the front. And I've now got myself a little tactical torch on the front of my baseball cap, which I think is a really brilliant idea, because this way, one, you can pretend you're a Dalek, and two is you don't have to carry a separate torch with you as well as this. So that's really, really good idea. So if I've got my baseball cap on, it's very hard to have the torch on the front, you know, a headlamp, because you get the peak on the peak there. When you've got a torch at the back there, the peak actually gives a shadow and you don't get any light. So really good to have it on the front. So how does it operate? It's like a tactical switch. You get a tactical switch on the back, and that's what turns it on and off. If I do it with this hand, you can probably see a bit better. You turn it off like so on the back. It will go into lock mode. Press and hold gives you the first light, and off and on. If you double press, you get a bright light, and I'll give you the wattages in a moment. And if you triple press, you get a strobe. Okay, so the strobe's pretty cool as well. Very good for fending off people is the strobe, because you put someone's coming at you and you put the strobe on, excuse the bright light, you put the strobe on, it's going to be very hard to catch you, and you know, stuff like that. So it really does work well. So let's have a look at the lumens. What have we got for lumens? We've got a 405 lumen torch, which is your double press bright light. 405 lumens, and that will drop down to 157 lumens, which is quite bright, after 2.8 minutes, and then it will run for another 52 minutes on the lower setting. So that's quite bright, pretty good for looking around for stuff, and then to turn it off and on, you know, as and when you need the extra power. On low setting, which is basically this one, which is still quite bright, that gives you 18 lumens. That's enough for me to operate my camera, find my camera gear, you know, even make my way back to the van, or find my keys and stuff like that, anything that you might need light for, and that'll run like that for 7.5 hours. So if you're out camping, you can clip it onto your tent, have it inside your tent, you can have it clipped onto the side of your tent, you can go off for a walk and you know where your tent is when you get back and stuff like that. So 8.5 hours is pretty long, and the strobe will run for 110 minutes, and that gives you a 355 lumen output for that. So it's quite a bright little light. It's got a TIR optical lens. Now I'm not quite sure what that means. If you know what a TIR lens is, drop it in the comments and let me know. But it's got a TIR optical lens, and I'm not quite sure what that means, but it means that it's bright, I think, and nice and shiny. I'm not going to turn it on while I'm looking in it, because I'm going to end up not being able to see. What else can I give you information? Price wise, it is $25.95, and I'll put a conversion up on the screen what that is in English pounds. Give you some more technical data. It is IP waterproof, IPX8 waterproof, which means it's 2 meters, so that means you should be able to drop this into some water 2 meters deep, and it should survive, which is pretty good. Dropping it in puddles, using it out in the rain. I wouldn't go diving with it or swimming with it, but I definitely wouldn't worry about it getting wet. The clip will actually come off. There's a little bit of a ring on the side that you can pull the clip off if you don't want the clip on there, but I think it's a brilliant little clip. It's got a beam distance of 87 meters, so with the brightest power that's going to give out a beam of 87 meters, which is pretty bright and pretty good and pretty long. So definitely good for looking around. Intensity, if this means anything. CD, I've asked this on other people before. What does CD mean? It's got an intensity of 1880 CD. Does it mean compact disc? I very much doubt it. What does CD mean? Let me know in the comments. An impact resistant for 1.5 meters. Means you can drop this on the floor, 1.5 meters, and it's going to survive. Pretty tough. Okay, that's all I can really tell you about it. Material is an alloy 6061-T6, if you need to know that information. It's got a voltage wattage of 2.75 volts, 4.2 volts. That's the high and low. And it's an LED SST20. What does that mean? Something to do with the LED in the inside, I'm sure it does. Anything else I can tell you, it got a weight of 34 grams. So that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to do, show you that little light. It's a cracking little light, really, really nice. And yeah, very handy for keeping in your pocket and clipping to the front of my baseball cap. And I think that's one of these things I will probably be using quite often, whether it clip it on the top or the bottom, because I know then that when that's on, I've got a small torch on the front of my helmet or the front of my hat, and I haven't got to worry about its strap, I haven't got to worry anything like that. So I think it's a really, really good idea and a great design. Thanks for Thrunite. Till next time, ciao for now. Don't forget, like and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and till next time, bye.